Hi there, I'm Andy Schweiger, winemaker here at Schweiger Vineyards. We are a family owned and operated vineyard and winery located at the top of Spring Mountain Road in Napa Valley, 2,000 feet above the town of St. Helena. My family has been farming on this property since 1982. Actually, the property has been owned by the family since 1961, when my dad had the opportunity to purchase this property for $250 an acre. At that time, it was completely forested, as you can see in the perimeter behind me here. By 1982, the vineyard was completely planted, 35 acres out of our 55-acre ranch, primarily planted to Cabernet as well as Chardonnay and Merlot. Those first few vintages we sold to ZD, Con Creek, Newton, and many other wineries throughout the Napa Valley. I wanted to get into the business somehow and would be riding with my dad when he would go to visit these wineries and let my dad taste the wines they had made out of our grapes. And my dad and I on the ride home would be going, it would be fun someday to see our own wine, our own grapes under a winery of our own name. And that kind of planted the seed in my mind. My dad never actually said, hey, go study winemaking. And when I was 16, I got a fake ID to appear to be 18 so I could get a work permit so I could actually go to work for wineries. By the time I graduated from high school, I had decided to go to UC Davis to study fermentation science, and along the way worked for many great wineries, including Gloria Ferrer, Chateau St. Jean, Joseph Phelps, and Kane Cellars. In 1994, my parents had pulled a winery use permit because the county was making it harder to get these permits, and they called me up one evening and said, well, if you want to know what it's like to be an entrepreneur, we have an opportunity for you, but don't quit your day job because we can't afford to pay you anything. We need to make wine this year and we don't know how. So what do you say we put together your education and your background and our hard work and our vineyards and our grapes, and let's make some wine. So in 94, we did about 500 cases of wine between Cabernet, Merlot, and Chardonnay. Every year we would sell less fruit, make more wine, and eventually we were selling that wine that we had made so we could afford to sell even less fruit. By 1999, every last grape that we grew here was going into our own facility to make Schweiger Vineyards. And I'm very pleased here today to introduce all the members of Spirit of Wine to our 2016 Chardonnay. Schweiger Vineyards is one of only 3 wineries producing a 100% Spring Mountain District Chardonnay. And I really like to point out what makes that special. Why should you care that it comes from Spring Mountain? Our terroir really gives a flinty minerality, a white peach component that typically you would more associate with classic Merceau than you would California Chardonnay. So in my winemaking, I really want to express that. There is no malolactic fermentation. I only do about 20% new French oak fermentation. The rest of it's tank fermented and then barrel aged later on in its life. This 2016, a lot of fresh white peach and that minerality I mentioned earlier, along with a little lemon zest and some fresh pear. I really think you're going to enjoy this and hope that you have it on your dinner table soon. Cheers.